may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor. This is the case of Rice versus Debaca.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone. Ms. Rice, you are appearing in court to prove the defendant, Mr. Debaca, is the father of your unborn baby.
Correct.
You claim he has denied paternity and state Mr. Debaca is a cheater who has posted several online ads looking for girlfriends while you were pregnant.
Yes.
In addition to the paternity suit, you are also asking the court to award you $750 for plane tickets and a loan to Mr. Debaca.
Yes.
Mr. Debaca, you say Ms. Rice cheated on you throughout your relationship, and therefore you have reason to doubt you're the father of Ms. Rice's unborn baby.
Yeah.
You say she's a party girl with far too many guy friends who cannot be trusted. Now, Ms. Rice, how does this relationship come to be? How did it begin?
It began about a year and a half ago. I responded to an ad on the internet. He was looking for friends. I went over to his house and we started hanging out and we stayed up for a while, and then he started asking me to have sex with him.
That's not a lie.
He
Why would you ask
me to have sex with him, and
please.
he kept asking me and asking me and asking me, and I told him, no, I do not sleep with guys on the first night, and I said that way more than once.
She gave into it.
I finally gave in.
She's not an adult. She just happened to just give in to my saying.
So you ended up having sex.
Yes.
And then where does the relationship go from there?
I invited him over to my house to come hang out with me, and he just moved in.
Oh,
He just moved in. I got him a job, and he just moved in.
She didn't give me a job,
I got him a job with a mutual friend.
I didn't say move
He moved in before you got him the job or after?
Before.
Before.
Okay.
But she
Came
didn't
over
give
and just stayed.
She invited me over to her house to just hang out for a night. I went over to her house for a night, and I just happened to stay because we just happened to keep having sex. It was just like, it was more of a friendship with like benefits. It wasn't, we were in a relationship, we weren't claiming each other as boyfriend or girlfriend.
We were going to be in a relationship.
The guy she was living with.
Okay, hold on, let me understand this.
The guy she was living with was married. He offered me a job because I was staying there, and I was just like, sure, I'll take the job.
Okay. How do you describe this relationship early on, Mr. Debaca? What is this relationship about? You say it's just friends with benefits, and yet you're living under the same roof with her.
I live with my mom. Me and my mom don't have sex. I'm just saying, like, just because you live with somebody, it's not a relationship. That don't even make any sense.
But you're living under the same roof with her. The people she works for gets you a job. In your mind, you have absolutely no tie or responsibility to her. You're just having random sex, and you got a roof over your head.
Unprotected sex.
Yeah. But
yet you haven't.
No responsibility to anyone or anything. No relationship.
Did you ever tell me that we were in a relationship?
Yeah, it was on Facebook. It was on the internet.
Okay, so if we were in a relationship, which you say we were in a relationship, right? When I was at work, she has dudes texting her asking them to come over when I'm at work with her boss. So, like, how is that a relationship? How's that a relationship?
Can't a girl be friends with guys?
Asking them to come over and asking them to cuddle?
I didn't ask any guy to cuddle.
Asking them to cuddle?
I didn't ask anybody to come cuddle with me.
So you know she's talking to other guys, but she calls and says she's pregnant. Why are you so sure that you're not the father of Ms. Rice's baby?
It seems every 5 minutes I talk to her or we break up, she's pregnant. Like, we'll break up, and then all of a sudden she wants to call me a couple weeks later and tell me she's pregnant.
That's not true.
And it's happened twice.
No.
Every time that it happens, she's trying to trap me into it, so I'm
not trying to trap you. Maybe if you'd own up to what you're doing.
The baby's not mine because of what she was emailing other dudes, and the reason I left because she was texting guys telling them to come over, and her friend, her roommate, went off to this army base. They're the only two girls there. They came back, her roommate brags about she had this huge old orgy, a bunch of dudes slept with her and stuff, and she was just there sitting on the sidelines, please. Like,
no, that didn't even happen.
None
of that happened. We went out to eat. That's it.
Oh.
We went out to eat.
You guys went out to eat.
Not even a big deal.
So at this point, you know she's pregnant with the child she's carrying now. You know she is. Specifically, why do you doubt that this child is yours?
Well, when I was over there, I was looking through her phone, and she had a picture of someone dude's in her phone. Wasn't my. I have tattoos on my.
How many times do you need to say?
So I'm just saying,
He needs
that's
to
how
say
I.
it so he can.
No, that's
so
how
he
I
can
knew.
Justify.
That's how I knew. No, I'm just
make sure
saying.
that he has it down crystal clear because.
Okay, so you saw, that's one doubt. You saw the picture.
Yeah, that.
And what else?
All right, so we had a little party at our house one time, and I was passing out in the living room, and one of my friends from work said that he was gonna go take her to the room. They never came out. I woke up, and then the next day, his friend said that he slept with somebody. There's only 2 girls in that house, Destiny and a little sister, and the little sister was with her boyfriend. So who else did he sleep with?
He was trying to get with my little sister. I never did anything. Michael and I went to bed that night in our room.
Now, apparently, I went to bed with him.
All right, moving on to your next doubt.
Her massage clients, because she had massage clients, she's a massage therapist. She was gonna do a massage for a family friend is what she called him. A family friend is what she called him.
Okay.
And then she said, yeah, come to my house. He asked who was all gonna be over there. She said, me, her boyfriend. And he was just like, oh, no,
now
never
he's
mind,
just
never
making
mind.
up stories. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I've never done massage inside my house.
Yeah.
So what's your account of this, Ms. Rice? He moves out. He finds out you texting other guys and you've got guy friends.
I didn't know the reason why he moved out. He just changed his
just
relationship status, and my mom was the one who told me that we had broken up.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You say this happens over and over again when she says she's pregnant after you break up. What happened
did it
the
twice.
first time? So the first time, explain to me what happened then.
I said that, well, the baby's, like, not mine. Obviously, I denied it because I knew what she was doing. She always, like, because before, like, she would always tell me that she would be hanging out with her friends, guy friends. That's what I'm saying. She's not like that to be just a guy's friend.
All right.
You don't even know me.
Now, Ms. Rice, what happens after this? You tell him you're pregnant. He denies and says, this may not be my child.
He denies. He says, that's not my baby. I'm not going to do anything for this baby. I'm not paying child support. I'm not going to take a paternity test. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. And
I didn't say I wouldn't take a paternity test. I told her I would take a paternity
He
test.
kept calling me crazy, saying I'm stupid, all this stuff. So
She was acting
I just
crazy. I didn't call her
moved
stupid.
on.
All right, so you all are arguing. And then was there a period of time where you weren't speaking?
Yeah.
Or you just kept this arguing going?
No, we
There was a period
stopped
of time
talking
where
for
we
a
quit
while.
talking, and then he decided that he wanted to talk to me later on and move in with me again. Move in with me for a second time for the sake of the child.
I randomly decided
wanting to
that.
be with me.
You did?
Nah. She kept bugging me and telling me to go over there. And I decided
No,
I needed
he wanted
to change.
to get out
And
of
I
his
said-
grandma's house
and I
because he was
said-
living in her basement.
And I said if
why
I needed,
why wouldn't he
and if
wanna
I
come
said
live
if
with
I
me?
needed to change, and if it was my child, I would go out there.
Okay, so let's fast forward. She's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
You all are living together.
Mm-hmm. She wanted somebody to be there. That's what she kept complaining about. So I went, and I was gonna be there for her.
I don't think I complained.
During
You
her
offered
pregnancy.
to come out there.
But then somehow you have to break up again because you say her pattern is every time you break up, she calls and
Yeah.
says she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point you broke up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left again. He
And-
decided that he wanted to post on the internet for dating again, using my cell phone, sneaking out of our bed, going and taking pictures of himself in the bathroom to post for other girls to see, looking for girls to hang out with him, but
First of
telling
all,
me that they were just girlfriends.
that doesn't
but
even
wait,
make any
if
sense.
I can't be friends with guys, why can he be friends with girls?
So why is that, Mr. Debaca?
No. Look at. Okay. All right. First of all, yeah, I posted. No, I posted the ad. No,
Are
I
we
posted the
stuttering?
ad and said no. I posted the ad and said that like it was for girls to be friends and stuff. But that's the only reason why I did it was for revenge of her, because we broke up and at the next day she did the same exact thing.
Both of you seem to have vastly different accounts of where you were as a couple. Now, potentially, you will be joined together as parents of this unborn child.
Yes.
All right, we're going to get to the DNA results in just a moment. First, I want to deal with the arbitration. Ms. Rice, you say the defendant owes you $750 for unused airline tickets and unpaid loans. Please explain how you came up with that number.
Okay, after he had left and moved back to Colorado, I told him 2 weeks later that I was pregnant. Once I found out, right away I told him, and he was excited. So he told me that he would come back. So I bought him a plane ticket for $100.
I never said I was excited about
He
that.
never got on the plane. And then I later found out the truth that he just didn't want to get on. So I paid it $50 to change the flight for another day.
Okay.
Same thing.
I never told her I
Didn't get
wanted to
on.
go back.
So I changed the flight for another day. This time he promised me that he would get on this airplane and come.
Nope.
And last minute, I had a ride set up to the airport. I had already paid gas money. I had concert tickets for us to go to a concert. And I had just gone grocery shopping to make a nice meal for when he came home. And he gave me a call and told me, my brother said I shouldn't go.
But you told her you were coming. You just later spoke with your family and they advised
the tickets.
You could have
She
told
bought
me
the
you didn't want to
tickets
come.
because she's
just-
crazy, yeah. I told her, I never
Okay.
told her I wanted to go.
How much did the plane tickets total? $100 plus $50 in the change fee.
Yes,
3 change fees.
correct.
$250. And you say your suit is for $750. Where's the other $500 come from?
The other $500 comes from borrowed money. I'd send him $100 here, $60 there,
He'd
$20
call you and say
here.
what?
Can you send me money? Can you wire me money through Walmart?
No.
Can you send me money? I need money. I need to eat. I want chocolate. I want juice. I want this. I want
What?
that.
Why would I ask her for money if I already have a job? She just
So
keeps
you've
adding
never
on stuff.
asked her for any money?
I asked her for money one time, and it was to go to it was to pay for the rest of my money to go to my studio. That was it, and she didn't send it, and I just dropped it. I said,
No,
whatever.
He asked me for money multiple times, and I've sent him multiple
So
times.
this is a guy that you were with that completely blew you off, and your mother had to tell you were broken up. Then he leaves at the drop of a dime, and you bought plane tickets and changed him 3 times. He never got on the plane. And you're sending him money, in your own words, for juice and candy because he's hungry and he needs to eat. Ms. Rice.
Because of what she says,
He
though.
told me
So you just
that
gonna
if I were
Surely-
to send him money, that he would come see me.
Does that make any sense, though?
If you sent him money.
Does that make
Yes.
any sense, though? Why would somebody do that? Think about
So look,
that.
Mr. Debaca, be quiet. Shut your mouth. Now, Ms. Rice, let's have a keep it real moment. Were you feeling that desperate, that alone, that you were just sending this money for an opportunity for him to just come be by your side?
Yes, probably. Because I thought that there was more to our relationship than what he's saying. And I thought that we actually cared about each other. At least that's how I felt about him. But I guess that's not what it was.
And I can see the hurt in your face
Yeah,
and in your eyes because you really cared about him.
I did.
Did you ever feel like he felt the same way about you?
Yes and no. I mean, maybe part of him did, but after hearing this, I don't think that he really does or did.
Okay. You know, I've listened to your testimony. I need to understand whether or not that money was truly a loan or was it a gift?
It was a loan. He kept telling me that he would pay me back.
She never told me when she...
It's your opinion that she never even sent you any money.
$20 was one time.
All right. Now that's what I needed to hear. Because something was telling me you were lying. And I said to
So I
myself,
could-
well,
No, wait.
maybe this girl is just crazy enough to think she sent some money, and maybe it just never happened, like Mr. Debaca said. Now, I pressed you on this about 5 minutes ago. You told me the only thing I ever asked her for was money from my studio, and she never sent it, so I just let it go. Now, you are saying she actually sent you $20. Who goes and sends somebody $20?
She sent me $20.
You gonna go all the way to
She didn't send me no
$750?
$750. She didn't send me no $750.
I don't believe what you're saying. I'll tell you what I do believe is, I believe she was giving you the money and hoping that you would show up to support her. And for that reason, Ms. Rice, I cannot award you the $500 that you say you sent him because I believe it was a gift.
Okay.
And I believe you did it out of love for him and because you wanted his attention. You lucky because you're lying. And you know you got some money from this girl. But I will say this. As for those plane tickets, You're not going to convince me that some girl working is not going to call an airline and put your name on some tickets and sit there and change the ticket 3 times if she has not been told that you're actually going to show up. That didn't happen. And for that reason, I'm going to award you the $250 for the plane tickets as well as the change fees. Are we clear?
Yes.
All right, it's time for the DNA results. Jerome?
Okay, Your Honor.
Thank you. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics. In the case of Rice versus Debaca, Mr. Debaca, do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. Now, before we get started and have these results, which I have right here in my hand, Dr. Baird of DNA Diagnostics has explained to us how a prenatal test works.
Judge Lake, in the case of Ms. Rice, we did a non-invasive prenatal paternity test. Let me explain what this test is. It's a relatively new test that works with a blood sample from the mother, not the more invasive procedures that were available in the past. It allows one to determine to a very high certainty whether or not an alleged father is the biological father of the fetus, and allows couples to make a safe decision based on that.
Thank you, Dr. Baird. In the case of Rice versus Debaca, when it comes to the child that Ms. Rice is currently carrying, Mr. Debaca, it has been determined that you are the father.
What did I tell you? What do you have to say?
Nothing to say now.
I'll take responsibility and take care of my child. I
And
just
that's
wanted to be sure.
exactly what I want you to do.
Can I apologize to her?
You absolutely can.
I'm sorry, Destiny. I really am. And I will take care of the baby. Am I allowed to give her a hug?
Yes, you may. I don't know where this relationship is going to end. I need to tell you this looking you in your eyes. You cannot make a man love you by having his child. You understand me?
Yes.
My grandmother used to say something to me, and I take it with me every day. She says, baby, you better love who loves you. If he don't love you, don't waste your time, okay? Take care of your child together. Court is adjourned.
Closed captioning provided by